There are a few quick things that I would want you guys to understand. Basically a few quick things that you need to understand about how the sessions will be conducted and all. So we'll quickly discuss about these things and then we'll get into the subject. Just give me one quick moment, please. One moment, please. All right. Yep. So before we start, first thing, how are you guys going to join the sessions? So for joining the session, I think you must have received a registration link. Then you filled in the registration. You basically entered the details on the registration link, and then you received an email with the meeting link, right? Yeah. You can use the same meeting link for joining the session every day. So you don't have to register every day. Registration is done once, and the meeting link that you clicked on today to join the session, before at the time of the session, all that you need to do is you just need to go back and click on the same link every day at the time of the session. Okay, once you click on that, sometimes it would show waiting for the organizer. Just be on that screen, and the moment I connect the session, you will get connected to the meeting. All right. Continue to use the same meeting link till the time you do not receive a new registration link from us. Sometimes it may happen that there can be some problem with this webinar and you will receive a different registration link. All right. In case you receive a new registration link, then you will have to register. Otherwise, continue to use the same meeting link every day. There should not be any problem with that. Okay. Make sure that you guys are receiving the emails that I send. Okay. Make sure that you guys are receiving the emails from our end. All right. Sometimes there is a possibility, though it's a rare possibility, but it's possible that some of our emails might land up into your spam folders. So in case you see any of the emails going into the spam folders, please mark our email IDs as not spam, so that you do not miss out on any important communication. Anytime if I'm not joining the session or if I'm not able to connect, you will receive an email for that. All right. So please wait. Just keep a track of your email. Any information related to if the session is cancelled or something will be informed to you through email. All right. Sometimes it may happen. There's a possibility that while I'm trying to connect the session, there's a problem at that point of time only. So the information might be given to you maybe after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But if there is no session or if there is any change in the plan, you will receive all the information through email. All right. Okay. So that is there. So please don't miss out on the emails from our side. That's the thing. Now coming to the Q&A in this session. So while we have the session where we'll basically split the session into two parts. One is the first half is basically where I'm going to demonstrate things and I'm going to discuss about the topic. Second half is not second half exactly. The second part basically, which is a smaller part, is the Q&A. Right. So towards the end of the session, every session we will have a Q&A, small a Q&A session. So we'll have time allocated for the question and answer. Okay. And that's where you can ask your questions. So while I'm discussing a topic, if you have a question, please keep your question with yourself, and during the Q&A time you will have the option to raise your hand, and once you raise your hand, your microphone will be unmuted and you can ask your question. All right. I'm just going to enable the raise hand option right now. Just see there is a hand icon available. I want everyone to go ahead and click on that hand icon once. In the GoToWebinar window, you will see there is a hand icon. Just go ahead and click on that. Yeah. So if you click on it once, it's basically raising your hand. If you click on it for the second time, you put it down. So that's the thing. Just go ahead and put it down for now. All right. So all that you have to do is, if you have got a question during the Q&A time, please raise your hand. All right. And by the time I answer someone else's question, please, keep your hand raised. Don't put it down. All right. Once I'm done with answering someone else's question, I'll, come back to you. All right. So that's how it's going to be done. All right. Okay. So that's basically the Q&A. That's basically the process for Q&A. One more thing. Apart from this raise hand, you can also see a questions icon there. Okay, can you just go and type a hi in that? Do you see a question mark icon there? Just click on that and type a hi in that. Yeah. Right. So now, what is this? Can we ask questions through this also? No. This is for me to ask questions and you guys would answer through this. Right. Now, um, during the session, while I'm talking about a certain topic, uh, there will be, several occasions where I would want to understand, what is the overall understanding of the entire batch on a certain topic, right? So for that, what I'll do is I'll quickly, ask certain questions. Let's say, I ask you what is Salesforce? Let's say, just give me an example. Now, because it will not be possible for us to unmute everyone one by one and then hear from you. So it will be a good idea to get the quick responses from you. So it helps me understand what is the overall understanding, and that helps me phrase my explanation that way. Once I understand what exactly you guys are understanding, I can actually have my explanations done in that way so that you guys understand it a little better. All right. So this is very important that you guys respond to this, and please don't use this for putting in your questions, because anyhow I will not be looking into these questions while I am explaining a topic. So I will not be answering your questions here. All right. So please don't put any communication on this apart from answering the stuff that I have. Okay. Everything related to the topic or the subject that is being discussed. If you have question related to that, you can ask question during the Q&A time, because we'll have to work in that sort of coordination. We cannot work with too many interruptions here, right? So anything related to the topic of the day, you want to ask question on that, that should be asked during the Q&A time. Anything which is not related to the topic, anything outside that, you can basically discuss that outside the class with my assistant or someone, right? So there's no need to discuss anything which is not related to the subject to discuss that here. All right, that's something which you can easily deal with my assistant and talk to him outside the class. Any other confusions or any other clarities you need outside, so you can actually get that outside the class. Okay, that's one thing. Now coming to the recordings part. So all these sessions will get recorded, okay, including what I'm talking to right now. This is also getting recorded. Now sessions will get recorded, and you will the recordings will be made available to you. So it will usually take 3 to 4 days for us to make the recordings available to you. Once the recording is available, once it's uploaded on YouTube, these are uploaded as private videos. Okay, which means only people who are part of this training program, they will be able to access it. All right. Once this recording is uploaded on YouTube, you will receive a link from YouTube with the you will receive an email from YouTube with the link for the video. All right. And all that you have to do is you just have to click on that link and watch the video. That's it. So nothing else needs to be done. All right. Now for so for the recording part, what you have to do is you should be always accessing the video from the registered email ID. I mean, you will receive the email in the registered email ID, and you should be accessing it from the registered email ID. If you try to just open that link from any other email ID, it will not work. All right. So as I told you, these are private videos. All right. Now, small thing on the recordings part. Though all the sessions will get recorded and you will get the recordings for all the sessions, I would want you guys not to depend too much on the recordings. Okay, so let me just give a small disclaimer here, because this is something completely technically managed. So there are scenarios where the session does not get recorded, or there are scenarios where the recording does not come up with that good quality. Maybe the sound is not that clear, or maybe the screen is stuck for some part of the video. So there is a possibility these things can happen. Though I'm not saying that these will happen every time or stuff like that. Most of the cases, you will not have these kind of situations, but there is a possibility. So for that reason, please don't depend too much on the video recordings. You are enrolled for the live training. I would want everyone to ensure that you attend the live sessions every day, because I see, some people feel that, okay, fine, anyhow, I'm going to get the recording. Okay, let me get up a little late in the morning, or let me, sleep a little early in the evening for people in US. So please don't try and do that. Try to attend until and unless it's that, urgent for you to miss the session. Please don't miss the sessions. All right. So it's always a better learning in the live session. All right. Recordings can then be used for references later. All right. That's one part. Second thing is, I would also, once you've received the recordings, I would also not want you guys to go back to the recording very quickly. I mean, so today you have attended the session, now evening or tomorrow, just don't go and start listening to the recording. All right. Ideally, you should try and, because it's, quite obvious that things are new to you, you're learning a new technology. So once you see a demonstration in the session, you will not remember everything from the session, once you start, doing things on your own. But I do not want you guys to, go to the recording very quickly. Okay. I want you to spend some time, try to figure out things on your own before you get into the recording. So recording is something which you should basically refer to if you have not been in touch with the software for, let's say, 15-20 days or a month, and now you don't remember things. That's when you should refer to the recordings. All right. So that's my suggestion. Now you guys would be better able to judge how you should use that. All right. Okay. So I think we are clear on things now. Time for us to get started with the Salesforce subject. Okay. So we'll start with the admin training. So even before we start talking about admin stuff and all, let's understand a few basics about Salesforce. What is Salesforce and all that stuff. All right. So yeah. So let me start with what is Salesforce. What is Salesforce? Quick responses on this. What do you think? What is Salesforce? We keep on hearing a lot of buzz about it. Salesforce is very popular. There are so many jobs and all. But what exactly is Salesforce? I see a lot of people actually, telling me that I want to learn Salesforce because it's very popular and it has got a lot of demand and all that stuff. But then what exactly Salesforce is? I see a lot of people are not very clear on that. So, okay. So responses that we have here are, it's a cloud-based CRM, okay, popular CRM software, platform as a service. All right, excellent, nice. Okay. So basically Salesforce is the most popular CRM. Okay. So to put it in simple words, it's the most popular CRM at this point of time. Which actually brings in another question. Then what is CRM? If it is the most popular CRM, then what is CRM? What is CRM? I want you guys to help me with this. Customer relationship management. Okay. What does that mean? Managing customer relationships. Very good. Okay, excellent. So CRM basically stands for customer relationship management, and that's something which we know. But what we are trying to understand is, what does that mean actually? Okay, so let me put it in simple words. CRM is a tool that will help a business maintain good relationship with their customers. Yeah, that's what it means. Huh? So it's a tool that will help business maintain good relationship with its customers. That's a customer relationship management should do. All right. So tool to help business manage good relationships with customers. That's what my CRM is supposed to do. All right. Now the question here is, how does this tool, when I say tool, let's say a software. How would a software help me manage good relationship with my customer? What exactly this software is going to do? If I have a software, how can a software help me manage good relationship with customers? What is the software going to do? It helps you track all the customer related information in one place in an organized way, so that whenever you need to interact with your customer, you will have information available. You can quickly interact with the customer. Make sense? Right? So it's not doing any magic. I mean, this is not a magic software which is actually going to, go and tell my customers about how good my business is. It's just a tool that will help you manage all the data properly. Right? There's a tool in the market which actually helps you, maintain friends for a very long time. The friends that you don't meet often, you can maintain those friends. There is a tool available which is called Facebook. How does Facebook actually help you maintain, friendship with people who you don't even meet? What does it do? It basically, helps you store all your friends' information, uh, in an organized way. You can actually interact with them and all that stuff, quickly. That's it. That's what the software is doing. It's not doing anything additional, right? Same thing, similar kind of a concept. So we have got a software which helps us maintain all the customer related information in a proper way, in an organized way, so that whenever I want to retrieve the information, I can quickly, first of all, I have got all the information, and I can quickly retrieve the information, and I can help my customers in a better way. So let's say there's a customer who's planning to buy some product. Let's say we are selling laptops. There's a customer who wants to buy some 100 laptops for their, for their employees. Now, I spoke to that customer last month, and the customer told me all the requirements that he has. All right. Now, if I have got a proper CRM and if I have stored all that information that he shared with me last month, this time while I'm talking to the customer, I can actually start talking about the next steps. I can propose him which laptop will be ideal for the requirement and all that stuff, right? If I don't have a CRM, what will I do? I'll again start asking him the requirement. Okay, fine. Please tell me the requirement. And this is where that customer will, start losing interest in buying product from us, because he says, he'll see that every time I'm talking to this guy, I'm actually, ending up telling him the requirement only, and he never, tracks all that details. Right? So there's just an example. There can be, more scenarios like this. So a CRM will actually help you track all the customer related information in one place, so that you can have smooth conversations and, smooth transactions with the customer. All right. Okay. So CRM is no magic tool. It's just kind of a database in the backend. In the front end, it can have the user interfaces. In the backend, what it has, it has got a database. When I'm talking about, putting all the information in one place, what am I talking about? Talking about a, small database that you create with all your customer information and all. Right? Okay. Now, if we have got the database, then what do we need? We need server to store the data. Where do you store the data? If you have data, you need to store, you need servers to store the data, right? Data has to be stored in the server. Now, the big question is, what kind of a server you want to use for your for storing your customers' data? There are two types of servers which are available. Don't worry, we are not going to get into too much of details of servers and all that stuff. Okay? But just a few concepts that you need to understand. So there are two types of servers which are available. One is an on-premise server, one is a cloud-based server. To understand this a little better, let's take a small example. Let's say we all, thought of starting a business. All of us, you guys and I, we all thought of starting a small business. Now, when we started our business, we saw that we have customers and we need to store customers' information. Now, to store the customer information, we need a server, right? So now we started, considering what are the several options that we have. We started exploring the options that we have to store the data. Okay. Now, you would realize that you have got two options here. One is an on-premise server. What is an on-premise server? A server that you set up in your own premise. So you have the option of setting up a server within your office or within your company, all right? And you manage that server, you maintain that server, and you can basically put your data in there, right? So it's like, this is my office Give me 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, so let's say this is my company, this is my office. I put up a server here. This is an on-premise server, this is my premise, and this is an on-premise server. Okay, you set it up. Now, because this is within your office premises, all that you have to do is you have to maintain the server, you will have to take care of, how to install it and all that stuff. And then here are the people sitting in your company. There are different people sitting here. Right. Now, this server is basically connected to all these people or their computers. Okay. So everyone will be able to access the data from here. Okay. Because this CRM data or customers data has to be kept in the common server, which is accessible to everyone. All right. So this is the concept. This is called on-premise server. Now, with its on-premise server, uh, the server is within your premise, which means it's your responsibility to manage the server, to maintain the server, to set up the server, to set up the connections between the computers and the server. So all these things are your responsibility. All right. Okay. Now, this office is in India. Let's say this office is in India. Okay. Now we think of opening another office somewhere in US. Okay. Do you think I can still connect to the server from a computer in US? Can I connect from here to this server? The answer is no, because the connection from the server to these computers is through LAN, local area network. Okay, so it is ideally connected through local area network. So the connections will not work this way. All right. So now you see this on-premise server has got certain challenges. Challenges, first of all, for everything is my responsibility, which means I'll spend a lot of time and money into managing the server. I'll need to hire people who can manage the server and all that stuff. And it is available only within the premise. It can be used only within that particular premise. So if I open a second office, in some other country or in some other location, I'll not be able to connect to that server directly, which is a challenge. Okay. So there is another type of server which is called a cloud-based server. What is this cloud-based server? Cloud-based server is something which is accessible through internet. Okay, like your Gmail server. When you use Gmail, you don't have a server, Gmail server actually set up at your laptop or at your home or in your office. That's a cloud-based server which is accessible through internet, right? So this cloud server concept is basically a server which is available through internet, which is accessible through internet. Gmail server, your Facebook server, all the Gmail communication that you are actually having with your friends or colleagues or whatever, all these are being stored somewhere. These are all being stored in the Gmail server. That's a cloud-based server, which means it can be connected through internet. All right. Okay. So we have got these two options now. We have got an on-premise server option. We have got a cloud server. So there are certain companies which will allow you, build a CRM, and where the server is going to be cloud-based, which means you don't have to set up the server in your premise. They are going to provide you a cloud-based server for that. Okay, and your customers' data is going to stay in that particular cloud-based server. Advantage of that cloud-based server: first thing, you don't have to manage, you don't have to set up, you don't have to hire people to do all that stuff, right? Because it's going to be time consuming, it's going to consume a lot of money, and then it is also going to require a lot of effort. So we might not be interested in doing so much about maintaining the server. Our core business can be something else, and we want to focus on our core business, and we don't want to focus on setting up the server, right? Obviously, I mean, we have started a new business. Let us focus on how do we acquire customers, how do we give better services to the customer. Now, who is actually going to take care of the server and all that stuff, right? So the cloud-based server comes up with these advantages. So first thing, you don't have to spend that much of time, effort, money into setting up the server. Second advantage of the cloud-based server is it's accessible through internet, which means you can access it from anywhere in the world. So you don't have to be sitting in this office to access the server. Tomorrow, if you have opened a different office, This office will also have internet, right? So from the internet, this is accessible. Like, you know, your Gmail. You don't have to sit at your home, or you don't have to, you know, access your Gmail from your laptop only. You can access it from your mobile phone. You can access from a cyber cafe. You can access from your office, wherever you want, right? Because it's the server is accessible through internet. Same concept applies here in the cloud-based server. So it can be accessed from anywhere, which means you are not limited to a particular physical boundary that you have to have your office and you have to have your people sitting in this location only to access the server and all. So that is not there. Okay, cool, fine. Now, uh, that's the server concept. Okay. Now, when we talk about CRM, I was just talking about this, that CRM also requires you to store data and you will need to have a server. Now, you have two options here. One is on-premise server and one is cloud-based server. Right. Cloud-based servers are more popular for obvious reasons. Okay, you can get started quickly and then you can connect from anywhere. Most of the businesses are now actually having multiple offices. If you, even if you look into small businesses, they would have multiple offices. They would want their people to work from different locations and all. In that case, cloud-based server is a very, you know, handy thing. Salesforce basically is a cloud-based CRM because it also uses the cloud-based server. So when I say cloud-based CRM, so sometimes you will come across these terminologies: on-premise CRM and a cloud-based CRM. So an on-premise CRM is a CRM that uses an on-premise server. Cloud-based CRM is a CRM which uses the cloud server, cloud-based server. That's it. The same thing, right? So Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM, so which means it has also got the cloud-based server. Got it? And all the advantages of the the cloud computing and the cloud-based server are associated with Salesforce also. So that's fine. Right. So Salesforce is world's most popular cloud-based CRM at this point of time. Okay, that's what Salesforce is. Now, so now we understand what is Salesforce and all that stuff. We understand what is CRM. We understand what is a cloud-based CRM. Right. So time for us to start talking a little more about Salesforce. Okay. So let's say, you know, again, let's go back to that particular you know, scenario or small scenario that I was discussing. We all have started a business, and what we want to do is we basically need a CRM. Okay. When we need a CRM, the first question that we would have is, you know, what sort of a server we want to have. We want an on-premise server or do we want a cloud-based server? And then we will, you know, choose between those. And we, let's say we decided to go ahead with a cloud-based CRM, and we have chosen Salesforce. Now, the next thing that we have is which edition we would pick from Salesforce, because Salesforce CRM comes in different edition. Do you think all the companies which require Salesforce, which are going to use Salesforce, every company will have same requirement, same kind of requirement, same kind of budget? Obviously, no. There can be small companies, they can be, you know, very, very small companies, they can be big companies. There are companies who will just need to, you know, store phone numbers in the CRM. There are companies who will want to automate things in the CRM. There are companies which would like to do, you know, a lot of analysis from the CRM. Right? So the set of requirements is different, and because, you know, the companies have got different set of requirements, Salesforce basically comes in different editions. Okay, like most of the things in this world, you will find, you know, different variations for that. The pricings also vary based on the features. Salesforce also comes in different editions. Okay, an edition is kind of a, you know, let's say a package kind of a thing. So there are certain features and functionalities available in each edition, and the pricing is done accordingly. Obviously, the edition with more features is going to cost you more, and the edition with with lesser features is going to cost you less. Correct? Okay. So once we start, you know, considering Salesforce, the next thing that we have to decide on is the edition. Which edition of Salesforce we want, right? So there are several editions which are available on Salesforce. I'll show you. If you go to salesforce.com and small thing, while I'm demonstrating things on my screen, please don't try to do the same thing on your screen, because then you will miss out on what I'm trying to show you. All right. After the session, you can go ahead and do these things. But while I'm trying to display something on my screen, please don't try to do that parallelly, because then you will not understand what I was actually talking about here. Right. Okay. So if you just go to salesforce.com, here we have got this products, and under products we have pricing. If you go to this, you will see there are several editions listed here. CRM IQ Starter, Professional Edition, Enterprise Edition, like Unlimited Edition. Okay. So these are the different editions. You see the pricing is also different: 150, 300, 75, 25. Right. Obviously, this will have more features as compared to the IQ CRM Starter. That's the reason why there is so much of a difference in the pricing. Right. Okay. And if you see, all the pricing given here is per user per month, which means uh, it's like $25 per user per month. Means if you have 5 users, then you will pay 25 into 5 per month. And if you are signing an agreement for an year, so 25 into 5 into 12. Correct. So that's just basic understanding of the pricing part of it. Okay. So now, what all features and functionalities are available in each edition? That's something which we'll not get into right now, because right now we don't even know what all features can be there and all. Right. So there's something that you can evaluate later on. So you will have a complete list of features and functionalities listed as per the editions. So that's something which we can evaluate later on. So we are not getting into that part right now. The only thing is that we need to understand that Salesforce comes into different editions, and based on the editions, they will, they are gonna charge you. All right. Okay. Now, apart from the editions that you see listed here, there is one more edition which is called a developer edition. This is not listed here. Developer edition is a free edition. Okay. Developer edition, free of cost, and you can basically use that for learning purpose. So for learning and development, you can use the developer edition. Right. Uh, how do you create a developer edition? I'll just give you the link where to create the developer edition. Please don't create it right now. You can create it after the session. All right. I'm just going to show you where to create and how to create the edition. You can do it after the session. Okay. To create this developer edition, you just have to go to developer.salesforce.com. Okay, I put the link in the chat window as well. You guys can pick it from there, or you can just type in developer.salesforce.com. Please don't create the edition right now. You can create your account after the session. Okay, I'll quickly show you what you have to do once you have come here. Developer.salesforce.com. Click on the sign up button at the top right corner, and then it's going to give you a form. You just have to fill up that form and submit the form. So get your very own developer edition full featured copy of Force.com for free. All that you need to do is you just need to enter your first name, last name, email address, role. Role you can pick anything, whatever. Company name, ABCD, whatever you want to put, you can put there. Country and pin code and username. All right. So your username should be in an email ID format. So ideally, you should copy your email ID and put it as username also. Your user ID and email can be same. All right. Okay. Once you've filled in all this information, you should check this and agree to the terms and condition and click on sign me. That's it. That's all you have to do. Once you submit this form, you'll receive an email with an activation link. Click on that activation link, and it will ask you to set your password, and you have to set your password. That's it. That's all you have to do. All right, and your account gets created. Correct. So this is how you are going to create your developer edition. Okay, now let's understand a little more about this developer edition. You guys can create your account later on, so don't worry about that. Now this developer edition, as I told you, it's a free edition, and good thing about this developer edition is that it's free for lifetime. Okay, it's free for lifetime. It does not expire. It would expire only if you keep it idle for 6 months. So if you don't use your developer edition for 6-7 months, and 6 months is what they say, but ideally it doesn't get expired exactly in 6 months. So they give a bit of extension also. So if there's an edition that you have not logged in for, if you have created a Salesforce org and you have not logged in into it for more than 6 months, then it would expire automatically. But if you continue to use it, it's a free for lifetime thing. Okay, which is a very good thing. Which means you guys can continue to learn on this, and you can complete all the uh, the entire training, and even after the training is completed, for your own practice and stuff, you can continue to use the same edition, right? So it's not like that 15 days or 30 days trial, right? Okay. Now, uh, what are the features and functionalities that you get in developer edition? Most of the features are available in developer edition, all right? It's similar to the enterprise edition that we have here. Feature wise, this developer edition is similar to the enterprise edition. Okay, now I've got a small question for you guys. If developer edition is available for free and it has got features which are similar to enterprise edition, uh, and this developer edition is free for lifetime, why do you think someone will go and buy this $150 enterprise edition thing? What can be the reason for that? We can see that we have got a developer edition which is free for lifetime, and it has got almost all the features of an enterprise edition. Why would someone go and buy enterprise edition? Okay, so there are a few reasons associated to this, but I'll talk about the main reason for that. Developer edition comes with 5 MB data storage. Okay, so the data storage that you have here is only 5 MB. 5 MB is pretty less. 5 MB is like let's say some 200 or 300 records, which is very less. Right, so you've got all the features, but data storage is pretty limited. So that makes it very difficult for any business to run their CRM on this. For learning, it's good, because for learning or testing, you can just do that with very small set of data also. But for a business to maintain their CRM, they cannot use it, right? So that's the thing. So your developer edition has got this restriction, all right, and that's the reason why it's not. It's basically it's something which cannot be used basically for a business as their CRM. All right, so that is the thing. Apart from that, the number of users that you have in developer edition is only 2. So usually a company would have more people, right? So only 2 people, but all those things can be managed. But this storage thing is something which is very, very less. Right? So that's the main reason. That's the main restriction that we have in the developer edition. But still, doesn't matter for us. 5 MB is also pretty good, because we can have sample records created there, and with those sample records we can try and test everything. Almost all the features and functionalities can be tested, right? So this is a good thing that can be used, right? Okay, so that's basically about our developer edition. So we can basically have our developer editions, and we can work with those. I'll quickly show you how it's going to look once you log in into your developer edition. I'll just log in into some other account and I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Once you log in into your developer edition, once you have created your login ID, password, and once you log in into it, this is how it's going to look. This is the user interface that you get to see. All right. Okay. So I'll quickly introduce you all to this interface. The different components that we have on this interface. Just give me one quick moment. Okay. Some of you, when you create your account, when you create a new account, some of you will see this kind of an interface as well. Okay. So when you create a new account, some of you will get to see this kind of an account interface as well. All right. So basically, there are two user interfaces that Salesforce is maintaining at this point of time. One is called Salesforce Classic and one is called Lightning. Okay. Classic is the old user interface. So since the time Salesforce was started, they have this interface, the classic one. Okay. Now what they are trying to do, they are actually trying to migrate to the new one, Lightning interface. Right. So they are introducing this new interface to the developer editions and all these things. Right. Now you have the option to switch between the interfaces. Lightning is still new, and a lot of features are not there in this UI. So this entire training we are going to do in the classic interface. This interface is the Lightning interface, the one that you get to see. So nowadays, if you create a developer account, by default it takes you to the Lightning interface. All right. So if you land up in this kind of a user interface, you can see this and all. All right. So if you land up in this kind of a user interface, all that you need to do is just click on this and switch to. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Click on this icon and click on switch to Salesforce Classic. Okay, you'll have the option to switch to Salesforce Classic. So if you see this kind of a user interface, just go ahead and click on switch to Salesforce Classic. That's it. And that will open the Salesforce Classic UI for you. Got it? Okay. So we are basically going to do this entire training in the Classic user interface. So let's get introduced to the components that we have here. On the top right corner, we have got the app menu. This is the apps menu. This is where all your apps are listed. You can have multiple apps in your Salesforce, just like you have apps in your mobile. Right? So your apps are listed here. Okay, like sales, app, service, marketing, and all these things. Just beside the app menu, you have got the help link. Click on this; it is going to open the help menu for you. Okay. Beside that, you have got the link to open the setup menu. You click on this. In the left hand side, you will see the setup menu available. Okay. Now, whatever you want to do in Salesforce, starting from managing users, developing things, customizing things, all these things are done from the setup menu, right? Administering the users, building components, monitoring, deploying, all these things are done from the setup menu, right? So setup menu is the big menu in the left hand side, which will let you do all this. So if you don't have the setup menu in the left hand side, you can click on the setup and you can open the menu. All right. Okay. Then you will see your own name appearing here. All right. Once you click on this, there's a drop down. Here you have several options. You have the option to log out, which we all understand what it will do. You have the option to switch to Lightning Experience. Lightning Experience is the other UI. We switch to the classic one. You can click here and you can switch to Lightning again. You have the option to go to Developer Console. Developer Console is the IDE, the development environment for Salesforce, where you can actually do the development. Now, this Developer Console is kind of used for writing programs and all. So we'll talk about developer console later on once we start writing programs and all. That's where we'll start talking about this. My settings will open a small menu in the left hand side, the menu bar. It's basically going to open a small menu for you, and these are your this menu is for your personal setting changes and all, right? So setup menu is for your organization. My settings menu is for your personal changes, like you want to change your password or stuff like that. So that's the small menu here. Then you can click on my profile. My profile will actually open up your profile for Chatter. Salesforce has got an inbuilt social networking tool kind of a thing, which is called Chatter. Okay, so if you go on my profile, it's going to open your profile on Chatter. Okay, so what is a Chatter? Chatter is basically an internal communication tool, which can be used within your organization. So you can put a status and you can share it with your people in the company. Got it? So that way you can attach a file, you can attach a link and share these things. Right. So my profile is basically going to take you to the page where you can actually edit your profile. You can put your photograph and all that stuff. So think of it as a mini Facebook, which is available only to people within your organization. All right. So that's what Chatter is, and that's what my profile is going to do. All right. So we have got the top right corner. We have got the menu bar. Right next to that, we have got the help link. Then we have got the setup menu. Then we have got this small menu drop down here. Logout, switch to lightning experience, developer console, my settings, my profile. Right. Okay. Apart from all these things, what else we have here is the list of tabs. So then we have got all these tabs listed here: home, chatter, campaigns, leads, accounts. All right. Now, what are these tabs? Tabs are actually buttons to go to different pages. For everything, we have got a different page. Like home tab will take me to the home page. Click on home. So now open up the home page for you. So this is your home page. Chatter will open the chatter page for you, right? And then same way we have got pages for everything. For campaigns, if you click on the campaigns tab, it's actually going to open the campaigns page for you, where you'll have all the campaigns listed and you'll have the option to create new campaigns and all that stuff. The same way you have a separate page for leads, accounts, contact, opportunities, right? So we have got tabs and we have got pages. That's it. All right. So if I want to create a new account, then I can simply go and click on the accounts tab and then click on the new button, and then it will allow me to create a new account. Got it? All right. So that pretty much gives us a basic idea about what sort of app it is and how it looks and all. Okay. So we'll continue to talk further on this in the next session. So once we meet tomorrow, we are basically going to start talking about the CRM app, the basic CRM app that they provide, and we're going to understand that a little. All right. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. So I would want everyone to create your account before tomorrow's session. Right? Please ensure that you create your developer account. Some of you already might have that. So if you have that, it's fine. For people who do not have the account, please go ahead and create an account. And when you're creating a new account, the ones who are actually going to create the new accounts, please keep a simple password for it, because sometimes I would ask for these account details for you to for I'm going to ask you for these account details so that I can use that account for doing some sort of demonstrations and all, right? So you should not have a password which you are not able to share and all that stuff, right? So please keep a simple password. Okay, so that's what we're going to discuss today. Now let me know if anyone has got any questions or doubts here.